What's going on, everybody? And we are logging on to episode 124 of the podcast. We got another top 5 episode for you guys today. I am with my co-host, as always, Luke Gans. Thank you for being here, my man.
Of course, always a pleasure.
And today's topic is the top 5 favorite talk show hosts. Now, I wasn't too specific with you when I said talk show hosts. It could be anyone that has a talk show, but I kind of primarily made my list like the late night hosts and whatnot. Yeah. They're the ones I watch the most anyway.
If you know me, you know my list is the furthest thing from conventional. So
okay, gotcha. Yeah. I was thinking about some names that you might have on there too. Yeah,
I might.
So we're gonna get into that topic, but before we do, I saw a little movie today and would like to do a brief review on it. Of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
This was a movie we were both extremely excited about. It was on, I believe it was number 5 or 4 of my most anticipated for this year when we did that episode. And I was very excited for it. I thought the trailers looked good. We were theorizing a lot about who was going to die potentially and things of that nature. I'm not going to get into that for you guys, but here's what my overall thoughts are. A bit disappointed with the movie. I saw the reviews come out for this, specifically more of the audience reviews. I don't really pay attention to the critic reviews.
Even the critics were pretty good, though.
81% on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's for Marvel lately. It's good because they've been bad lately.
I agree. But the audience review on Rotten Tomatoes was off the charts. It was at like 97 or 98%. It still might be there right now. Yeah. And I was like, all right, like, great. Well, first off, great for Marvel. We got a win for Marvel finally after a little bit.
Even though you don't, I feel like it's still a win, right?
Yeah, still a win. Still a win. But I was, overall, I would say, kind of disappointed with it.
Okay.
I was expecting too much, especially when it came to the death section of the movie. Disappointed in that factor. And here are the positives, because there's plenty of positives. Yep. The comedy was there.
Yep.
And
I heard the soundtrack was fantastic, as always.
Soundtrack was good, but not compared to like the first 2 movies.
Yeah, okay.
But the soundtrack was still good. The opening song they did for it was a rendition of the song Creep.
Yeah.
But it was like a slow acoustic guitar version of it.
Was it good?
Excellent. Okay. Man. I was already starting to like tear up. I was like, oh, okay, this is the kind of movie that we're getting into right now. And it was with Rocket, like listening to it and walking around nowhere. Yeah. And everything, the planet, like their home base.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, the emotions are already starting to set in.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of the emotions, I was holding back tears from time to time when they did, and there was plenty of them, flashbacks of Rocket's childhood and how he was basically created. Yeah. And a lot of sad moments with that. I saw a lot of people online on Twitter and everything saying it's like, oh, the message there is like all about animal cruelty and everything. Yeah. Sure, I see it, but do I think that was James Gunn's intention to spread that message? I don't think so. I think it was just to show like the true backstory of Rocket from the comics.
Yeah. I agree with you, but I definitely have heard a lot, and I've seen a lot of photos and stuff. I think the world we live in today
is going to grab that, right?
Yes, but I side with it in the sense that, like,
of course,
we live in a society.
Yes.
But this sounds fucked up, but, like, everyone is so focused on themselves. Like, it just,
Sure.
It doesn't matter. And again, like, this is going to come from a biased point of view as a pit bull advocate. Yeah. But there's so much neglect that goes on with animals, with dogs, with cats. Like, I was reading a story about a dog today that got brought to a shelter at 20.
Whoa.
Like, how can you have a dog up until you're 20 and just not let it pass with your family after 20 years and give it into a shelter? So it's more that, and like, that's at an all-time high because we as humans in society, we aren't focusing as much on it. I mean, look at us from the Jersey Shore point of view. The dolphins, the whales.
I know.
Bro,
craziness.
It is insane. If you're not up to date with like what's going on in the Jersey Shore with that, there's been I might be overshooting the number. It's like 20 or something like that of dolphins and whales just washing up on shores. It's the most that's ever happened in the Jersey Shore over like a duration of time, and it's not even the summer yet.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So I think it's a really good way to show it because think about it. The best platform to do it, and I think we talked about this all the way back in Star Wars, right? Because I'm a huge animal guy, but when it was happening there, I was like, this movie's already bad. And I did not like it, where I did not need them to be like, freedom, because, like, I love that. That's awesome. It should kind of paint that picture. But, like, episode 8, we needed such a storyline that was going to build on what we had in 7, and it didn't.
And that's what it went with.
So, it just was all over the place, and it's like, all right, that just feels forced.
Yeah.
Where this...
Definitely not forced.
Exactly.
Definitely not forced.
I think, like, I agree with you. It's definitely Rocket's backstory, but I think it's a good way for us, like... To see as humans, wow, this is going on, and we don't fucking realize it. Because you don't. Like, I stopped drinking. I eat meat. I'm not like a vegan. I do eat and consume meat. I drink dairy products. I eat eggs. So, like, that's not my thing. But I do try to pick and choose with certain brands. Because, listen, at the end of the day, you got to try to die on a hill. But it's hard now to completely just not, right? Like,
yeah.
Starbucks doesn't support the military, so you can't get them. This does this, so you can't do this. Don't do...
Good example would be like Chick-fil-A, too.
Chick-fil-A doesn't have certain beliefs that they stand in.
Right, exactly.
The clothes you wear, if you shop at any of the fast fashion brands, if you shop at Primark, they're all child labor. If you buy Nike shoes, it's child labor. And, I love Nike. So, again... It is what it is, but there's certain things you have to die on, like Fairlife. Do you know the Fairlife logo? The cow?
No.
The Fairlife is a milk. It's got a little cow on it. It's like a protein drink, and they make all these different stuff. Fairlife got caught 2 years ago in a huge investigation abusing their animals. Beating their cows to running them through the mills, giving these cows giving births to their parents, giving birth to a child and immediately pulling it from the mom.
Ooh,
the same thing as breeders do, right? Yeah. They have a pit bull, they have a regular dog, they have a German Shepherd because everyone wants these expensive dogs now.
Yeah.
Everyone wants, again, that's the thing. There's always the human problem. And I think that's where this is a really good, because I don't think the guy is a human, right? He's not a human.
You're talking about the villain?
Yes.
And we might as well transition into that too. I don't know. He looks human and everything. They never explain it, and that was another con for me. Yeah. With the villain.
Well, I read something that someone said the con was that he was doing so well, and then he got into the typical screaming villain role.
Yes.
Where he was doing so well, and then it was that God complex where they're like, I'm the boss! Yes. And then it's okay, you were doing so well, and now you're just kind of...
That's exactly what it was.
The screamy bad guy, you know what I mean?
They never explained his powers, and he was powerful. He reminded me a lot of Kang, how he, when he had Ant-Man and his daughter in the cell. Yeah. How he, just went like that, and they went to the wall.
Yeah, exactly.
Same type of powers.
The Force?
Almost like the Force.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so this is looking a little too similar. And the thing is, they don't explain how he gets these powers or where he's coming from or anything, why he's doing what he's doing.
So do you think, before you do all your pros and cons with it, do you think it was James Gunn just mailing it in?
Mailing what in? The villain?
I mean, no, mailing
or the
it
message.
He's not with Marvel anymore. So was it him more just fuck you guys, you'd burn me like this. I've got a job at DC now, and
definitely not.
Yeah, definitely not in the sense that he bombed the movie, because he didn't. But it's not as good as you thought it could be. Do you think it's maybe that he just was kind of it's gonna do its own thing because it's Guardians. People love Guardians. Guardians. It could have been bad and it would have been good.
Sure,
I really do think so.
Sure,
because you have that cast. That cast can't fuck up.
I know.
Because they have such a good dynamic. If the story was bad, if the content was bad...
Then it's a real big fuck you.
But I still think it would have been good in the sense that, I don't think that was his goal with it. But do you think he kind of, took his foot off the gas and he's I'm not going to pour my whole heart into it because I'm at DC now?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Good.
I think he poured his heart into this movie.
That's all.
Because you want to know what the thing is, dude? This movie had a lot of heart. It was all about the Guardian family. That's what it was all about, this movie. And that's what even had me like choked up from time to time too.
Two post credits, one
two post credit scenes. Can't even get into them really without spoiling anything.
Were they big or no?
No. I mean, the first one kind of was. It kind of shows you what a next Guardians movie could look like.
Okay.
But yikes, if that's the case, what I just said, like what a potential Guardians, I don't know if I want to be seeing that.
And, is it like with all the other Guardians? Spoiler alert.
Do you mind if I just say it?
Spoiler, yeah.
Okay, so spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
It shows like the new team of Guardians, the first post-credit scene. You still got Rocket and Groot in there.
Okay.
Get into some spoilers.
Spoilers.
Star-Lord retires, basically, and lives on Earth now. Okay. Rocket becomes the leader. Everyone votes Rocket to be the leader of the Guardians now.
That's fine.
And Rocket and Groot are really the only two remaining originals in this new team. You got Adam Warlock, who he was a huge con in this movie.
Really?
Huge con in this movie, man. He just terrible, actually. I thought he was terrible.
But do you think it's the writing? Because I think
I think
it's got to be the writing. Yeah,
Adam Warlock did not need to be in this movie one bit. Not one bit.
But I agree, but they had to because of the second movie. You know what I mean? Like, that's the only reason, in my opinion, because doesn't he not even technically have to be in it? No.
He didn't have to be in it at all. The movie probably would have had advantage if he wasn't in the movie, to be honest with you. I understand that they probably felt a little forced to add him in there because of Guardians 2 post-credit scene.
Exactly.
But they really didn't need him in there at all. He really annoyed me, actually. He really annoyed me.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. Like, not good. And anyway, he's a part of this new Guardians team, and it's like a training sequence in that post-credit scene. So you got Kraglin, I believe his name, Sean Gunn, the guy with the arrowhead. Mm-hmm. He's still in there. And then two other people that couldn't even tell you who they were.
Were they from the original Guardians? Remember the other Guardians, Sylvester Stallone's Guardians?
He's in the movie, Sylvester.
I know. Yeah.
But no, they're the Ravagers.
Yes,
they're the Ravagers.
Yes.
Speaking of the Ravagers, Gamora, she was good in the movie, but didn't have much purpose in the movie.
Just to be
like the whole storyline of Peter trying to get her back and all that. It was there a little bit.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it doesn't look like that's going to go anywhere.
Yep, it's just done.
That's
done. Fine. That's cool.
I think it's just done. Which
I was
okay with.
Peter Quill would end up with on Earth? You know what I think would be really funny, but like the age thing, I don't know how old she is. Ant-Man's daughter. I think that would be so funny of if he was.
No way though. No way would that.
But like
work.
I know, but like I'm saying, like if Peter Quill was with someone, an Avenger's daughter, how funny that would be.
You want to know what would be hilarious, bro? If she was still alive, Jane Foster, because of Thor and Star-Lord's relationship. And say Thor 4 didn't even happen, and Star-Lord went back to Earth. That would be That would be hilarious. I think.
That'd be good too.
That would be great. I think. But yeah, post-credit scenes okay. The movie in general, not okay. It was good.
Yeah, so it was 75. I think you put it at a 7.
I put it at a 7. Realistically, I'm thinking a 7.4. Okay. And
what other pros were there? You said there were like
Yeah. All right. So other pros. Rocket's backstory, like I said before, the best thing in the movie.
Chris Pratt was so Star-Lord was really good.
Everybody killed it.
Groot was good.
The ending, and I told you this before the podcast. Another spoiler alert.
Spoiler.
No one dies in the movie, which I was disappointed in. Yeah. But it was a good send off to this team of Guardians.
Okay, that's good.
Batista's
Drax.
Drax. He
spoilers.
Him and Nebula have this back and forth. How like, you're Drax the Destroyer. You just mess up everything. You have no purpose on this team. And then Nebula at the end is like, no, Drax, like your purpose is to be a father, which was great to me because Drax lost his
daughter and
everything,
of course,
to Thanos and everything. So that was great. That was really touching. That's the main pro.
Does him and Mantis end up just like?
No, like Mantis goes off to do her own thing. Like she was basically just like, I my whole life I was doing everything that Ego wanted me to do, and then I was doing everything the Guardians wanted me to do. I want to do my own thing now, and she goes off.
Okay.
And Drax was in tears, actually,
of
for
course,
that.
Yeah.
You got to see how Groot looks, though, in that post-credit scene, bro. Fucking monster.
I love it.
Huge.
I love that he's getting huge. I love it. That's got me hyped. All right, cool.
Groot,
so
and last thing, Groot has some of the sickest action sequences in this movie.
Yeah, I can imagine so. It's
sickest action sequences in this movie. The way with the multiple branches holding guns, shooting people.
You need to capitalize on a thing like that, man. And
he grew wings. He made wings.
Oh, that's dope.
And started doing Fortnite gliding over to the ground. It was sick.
That's awesome that it all went that way. I'll be excited to watch it. I'm watching it this week, and I'll be excited to see it and see how it all ends up.
Yeah.
With all of them. Like you said, it will be a bummer to see none of them die like that.
Yeah.
And I'm also intrigued on finding out how Adam Warlock joins the team, because wasn't he the original bad guy technically?
That was the assumption when the post-credit scene happened.
That he is a bad guy.
Oh, well, he is in the beginning of the movie.
In the beginning of the movie, then he joins them. That's what I'm saying.
In a sense, you'll find out.
Yeah.
Last two things I'll say about it. One, people are saying this is the best Guardians movie. Not even close to the first movie. Yeah, I don't know why people are saying that. Really, I don't know why people are saying that.
Because look at how you just reacted.
Because of what they want that reaction?
They want that.
Oh man,
that's media, bro. That's media. That's why I try to tell people all the time. I'm like, this is literally the only people go online, on Twitter, on YouTube to make these reviews to purposely be like, yo, Guardians was fucking 98.6 out of...
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. Even Infinity War and Endgame, which regardless if you're a Marvel fan or not, they're fantastic movies. Regardless if you're a Marvel fan or not,
without
it doesn't
a doubt,
matter.
They're fantastic.
That's like someone being that was a 40.
Yeah, I know.
No, it wasn't, bud. No, it wasn't, bud.
A positive thing, one of the last things I'll say, and then I want to rank the three, actually.
Yeah.
The Guardians trilogy.
I think you're going to rank it 2, 1, 3, by the way.
Okay, well, I'll get to that in a sec. That's my the Guardians trilogy is the best trilogy of the MCU.
Yeah.
It is.
I mean,
Iron Man went down the shitter.
It's going up against Thor.
Was the shitter and then good and then back to the shitter.
What about Hulk?
He only had one. You know what I'm saying? Ant-Man could have been the best. I think Ant-Man could have been the best.
Could have been.
But Guardians is the best.
But Ant-Man 2, for the record, Ant-Man 1, movie. Ant-Man 3, Ant-Man 2 is mine.
Oh, with Ant-Man, it goes Ant-Man 1, 2, and then 3.
One being the best. I agree. One is the best.
Yeah.
I love 2. It's a fun time.
It is a good time, yeah.
And I enjoyed it. But
3 is a good time, too.
I think Quantumanium is a lot better than people think. Again, that's some Jonathan Majors bias, which now I obviously...
Well,
we'll figure that out.
I wouldn't even say that because people already had their mixed thoughts on the movie before all that stuff.
No, I know that, but just in general, I was a huge Majors fan because I had watched Lovecraft Country, which I had seen that, and then I saw him, and so I was like, oh shit, I'm loving his performances. And again, he did really well in Creed, so I hope everything comes back as negative so Marvel can get back on track, because that would be... Obviously, it's a huge loss for anything that might have happened to these women that are coming out, so preface it that way. If that's the case, if it's not the case, then I hope, obviously, he is able to figure it all out with Marvel. But I think Quantumanium is better than... I also love Kang. So
I would say Ant-Man Quantumania, I would have to think more about it.
Yeah, regardless, but...
As far as Guardians, 1 is the best, then 3, and then 2.
Yep.
That's what I would say. No, I think you said 2, 1, 3.
I did.
Yeah, no, it would first is the best, then I would say 3 is in second place, and then the second movie is in third place.
Yeah, I didn't love Ego. I thought it was fine. But...
It's hard to do that character, man.
I mean, yeah, of course. But they got the right guy for it.
Absolutely.
You got a legend.
It's not like they did bad with
No.
But, it's a hard character to manage with.
I mean, that's fucking Marvel. Oh, and Reed Richards, apparently.
Yeah, Adam Driver apparently accepted the offer to play Mr.
Mila
Fantastic.
Kunis, the Thing. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did. I did.
Not to go off on a tangent, but that shit had Twitter in arms, bro. Twitter was ready to...
apparently she said something where he's like, no, I'm not in Fantastic Four, but I do know who is.
Yeah, well,
that's what she said.
I personally thought that was her saying Ashton Kutcher's in it, which I originally thought you could give him. Not the Thing. I thought he could get away with Reed Richards if everyone else was turning it down.
Yeah.
But, like, again, if you're talking John Krasinski, Adam Driver, just in general, I'm like, my opinion, I don't want Ashton Kutcher. No offense.
No, me
I love
neither.
Ashton Kutcher, but, like, I wouldn't want him over those two.
Right.
But we've seen John Krasinski looks great, and Adam Driver, I think, is going to absolutely kill
He's just
it.
a fantastic actor in general, dude.
Fantastic actor.
He is. He's great.
Regardless of how much I hate those Star Wars movies, he's one
probably
of the
best
bright
parts.
Yeah. I would say he's easily the best part.
Yeah.
Then, like, Mark Hamill's the second best part kind of a thing, and he's in fucking one of them.
Yeah, right.
And he's in the bad one, too. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's at the end of the decent one. I don't know. I don't even remember what 9 happens in episode fucking 8 or 9 because I've just raised it out of my brain.
Did you watch any of Visions season 2?
I watched the first episode. Awesome.
Yeah.
Mandalorian was a good finale, by the way.
It was good.
We're going to go all over the place because
yeah.
we haven't caught up, but like Mandalorian was a good finale.
Yes.
I say this, and I say this, and I say this, bro. At the end of the day, we live in a society. All of the content we're getting is not going to be perfect. It's not going to be. I love that you love Mandalorian as a not as big Star Wars fan. A lot of the Star Wars fandom is the most toxic fucking community ever. They're the worst. You are all the worst. I am really part of that. No, you're the worst because you can't. There's more
bad than good.
You can't pick and choose the goods and the bads. You're just hyper focused on this was bad, this was bad, this was bad, this was bad.
Yeah.
Like some of the accounts I follow, I sit there and I'm like, you guys just fucking complain about everything. Like everything.
I will say though, maybe some of the complaints about this season of Mando were legitimate.
It's fine.
Because it had a semi-rocky beginning and middle of that season.
Listen, there's a lot of,
until the end.
When you don't have a competent president behind the brand, you're not gonna be fucking stable. It doesn't matter.
I don't know if it was Kennedy's fault though.
But the thing is that it does not matter. If Dave Filoni's writing it and has no one else touching it, I would literally bet my life on it. There's no chance in hell it's anywhere close to this.
Oh yeah.
Kathleen Kennedy has final say, and she goes in and goes. Fucking toys with all of it.
Like a Warner Brothers DC situation.
Dave Filoni literally lives, breathes, and dies Star Wars.
Yeah.
He would not allow certain things to happen the way that she then is like, well, we need to sell more Baby Yoda toys. Make sure you put them inside a droid. Yeah. I personally like that. I really did. I thought it was cool. Droid thing. It's a smart move because you can't have him just fighting off
pop figure, hot toy.
It makes sense.
Come on.
But yeah. But like
I see what you meant by that.
But do you know what I mean? Like,
yes. Yeah.
I love certain aspects of it, but it's just there's so much inconsistency with it. That's why like I'm very excited for Ahsoka because
the Ahsoka trailer was great.
Filoni has full control. Apparently, he wrote every episode.
I know. Yes, I heard that. I read that too. Read that too.
Literally.
You want to know what has me excited about like the last couple of moments of Mando season 3? How like they hinted they're going to go back to basics.
Yeah.
Like he's just going to be back to being
a
solo
bounty hunter
and a bounty hunter. How the show
like a
started.
Republic bounty hunter, which is really cool.
Yeah,
because I think we're going to see as now we're getting into episode 7, the Republic's about to fall. Mm-hmm. We're going to watch as that happens because look, 7, 8, and 9 are no good.
But they're there.
But they're there and it happened and you can't be like, oh, it didn't happen. Like you have to fucking keep it canon.
Yeah.
So if you're going to keep it canon, give me content that will make me go like, okay, I'm fine with that.
Without a doubt.
That's fine with me. Like that's why I think
they could potentially
Ahsoka,
make that trilogy better with some backstory on certain things too.
The Book of Boba Fett, I don't know if you read anything on that. No. Tamora Morrison, who plays Boba Fett, he plays all the clones, he plays Jango Fett, Boba Fett, all them.
Yeah.
He came out and said, like, yeah, they kind of, like, shafted me and put Din Djarin in my show.
Yeah.
His show was supposed to be way different. But they had to do some kind of a scheduling thing, and they basically made it part of the canon of Mando is the end of Book of Boba, instead of leaving the Book of Boba Fett just for Boba Fett.
Which they should have
done. Which they should have done. Even if you didn't like Boba Fett, No, but I personally think they were going to write it a different way, and then
if
with
they
him
wrote
getting
it a different
in
way,
it, they
then
were like,
"Oh,
we're yep."
But
like,
if they kept it the way it was, and Mando wasn't in it,
and
of
course it would have
worse.
It would have been way
worse.
Well, that's like a way different story.
Did you hear that Star Wars is trying to have Pedro Pascal just voiced in Djarin and not be there on set?
Yeah, because he doesn't want to be.
Is that
bro?
Is that
after season 1, they almost had
because he wanted the
mask
face.
off, and he was like, yeah, and he put up, which like I love Pedro Pascal, I'm fine with it, but like that really pissed me off. I was like, oh my, but I get it,
Yeah.
Like you are the guy, so you don't want people to know you by the voice, you want them to know you by your face. That's how you sell. That's how you become a superstar. I get that.
But at the same time, it's like, I would kind of take. I'm still getting a fat paycheck. Just to voice
it's
the guy.
Disney, bro. Disney's
step on
but
set.
No, but that's what he probably wants. He probably wants that,
right,
and
okay.
Disney's probably like, I think we'd rather, because think about it, bro. You know how people are gonna be. They're gonna see him moving a certain way, be like,
not him.
That's not him. That's not him. You know.
Yeah.
So again, it is what it is. But for Visions, to get back on track with it, bro. Visions is such a cool concept. I think more TV shows and more people need to do this. Visions, the concept behind it is one singular episodes that are non-canon to Star Wars that are designed by different anime directors.
Yeah.
And
animation studios.
When I tell you, the first episode of season 2 is so fucking good. It's literally Into the Spider-Verse.
The animation style?
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
It's so sick. Yeah. I didn't even get to the second episode. I'm gonna watch more of it this week, but I watched the first episode because I just had like 20 minutes to kill. I'm like, let me throw it on.
Yeah.
And it was so good.
I want to get into. I talked to Joe today.
Yeah.
We're gonna get into the first season this week.
You didn't watch it yet?
I didn't watch the first season.
Oh, bro.
And I'm hearing they're
already signed on for
season 3.
They're already saying they might do like a 4th season.
Good.
I mean, yeah,
I love it.
I'm fine with it, bro. Keep giving me content like that because it keeps giving people the realization that Star Wars is good. Star Wars is good content if it's got the right people behind it.
Exactly.
Which this
that
stuff
could
is
be great content.
So sick.
Yeah.
So sick. But yeah, Star Wars.
All right. I think we're gonna move on right to our main topic right now, which is the top 5 favorite talk show hosts.
Let's do it.
So like I said before, I primarily focused on the late night hosts, and I actually have 3 different sections of lists for this. Okay. I have 1 honorable mention, 2 dishonorable mentions, and then my top 5 list.
Do dishonorables right now.
Sure. Number 1, Jay Leno.
Oh.
Don't like him. Like his voice? No. I'm not voice shaming him.
I don't like his politics.
No, not even blaming on politics with him. He did Conan O'Brien so dirty when Conan took over the late
show.
What the Tonight Show?
Tonight Show, yes.
Conan had it for maybe a week or a month or something,
and then
like that.
Came back.
And then Jay Leno was like, "Oh no, want it back," and took it back. Conan was out of a job, and Conan was very grateful that this happened, but also extremely lucky that TBS was like, "Hey, come do a talk show, late night talk show."
Yeah, for us, exactly. Yeah, because then
it did great.
Well, yeah, because then Leno was out a couple.
Yeah, Leno didn't even last that long either.
Yeah,
afterwards.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I don't like how he did that. I thought that wasn't a class act move. And
can I guess who the next one is?
Sure.
Corden.
James Corden. No. He's actually my honorable mention. I'll tell you why. I understand that there's a lot of stories about him being a total dick and an asshole, and even his staff are a bunch of assholes and everything. The only reason why he's on my honorable mention list is because of carpool karaoke. I think that's a very innovative idea. Only reason why. And he just ended. Why? What's wrong? Is that what I just said? Is that why you don't like him?
He's my least favorite person ever.
Oh, really? Is it because of what I said? Of the stories about?
I don't like people that are dickheads.
Okay, gotcha.
If you have now again, mind you,
Ellen probably is on that same wavelength.
I didn't even put Ellen on this list because I mean, listen, you call a spade with some of these people, bro. There's stories that come out that some of these people are assholes, and everyone's like, it's Ellen, she can't be.
But once there's more than 1, 2, 3, there has to be some truth to it.
And that's like
yep.
My thing with Corden. I don't like if you like again. You're number one. I don't want this to sound like fucking these colors don't run. Like I don't want this to sound like that. I don't like people that complain about America. Like that pisses me off.
Okay, gotcha.
As much as we have a very dysfunctional country and like however the climate you want to consider it now, when, then, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If you like talk bad about the country, I just like don't like that. I don't like that. We
either.
live in a great place that has all of this availability to think about the issues that we fight about every day. The fact that we can have arguments about them is literally a win in the sense that there's other countries that you'd be literally either killed or like outcast or whatever for some of these viewpoints.
100% agreed.
That's not me sitting on any side. That's not how I'm going about it.
Yeah, right.
But
I think everyone should be grateful that they have a voice.
But like again, you're in America, in the United States, with as much money as you are, with the platform you have, interviewing American and North American celebrities for the most part, not to say again, North America in the hub of TV and movie, right?
Yeah.
Most of these people live here, most of these people play sports here, most of these people.
Yeah.
So you're kind of taking this platform, talking shit to a degree, and then kind of out like just spreading that out and then like
without a doubt. And
the same thing goes for Trevor Noah. I feel the same.
Well, Trevor Noah is a little different because his late night show is politics.
Of course, but like
all that
irritates me as well. I
don't like those shows.
I agree. I don't like when you get like that. Like when anyone gets like that.
Right.
I think he's the same thing. He's made his wealth. He's made his name in the United States.
Yeah.
And like it just irritates me because I don't want to be like, go back home. Like that's not what I'm saying.
Right.
But like you think about it and you're like, dude, like if you are successful here, like are you here because you're successful or could you be back in the UK and be successful? I'm not asking you to leave, stay.
But it's a good point to bring up.
Just have more open dialogue. No, mind you, the back and forth with it, I will say it's like he probably has reason to be irritated at certain people because there's also ignorant people that have really bad viewpoints that make it tough for people like, people to have those conversations. So I get it. There's a tit and a tat. I'm a very, as much as I feel one way, I understand and can see and can sympathize with your other viewpoint. I might not agree with it, but I can understand it.
Yeah, yeah.
So I get it, but it just irritates me that they can use a platform like the media that we have in the United States and the media in general.
Yeah.
And then kind of like shit on the U.S. Again,
so you're saying that with James Corden?
I just think James Corden's a prick.
Oh, okay.
And I think he'll
say
like,
do that?
in America, I can't believe that. I'm not gonna try to butcher.
Yeah.
He'll say like, oh, like I can't believe, and now like I'm not trying to fat shame at all. That's not my thing. But, like he'll be like talking about like the portion size or whatever, and it's like you're a little bit larger, man. Like
what do you?
It's not really a good argument. Yeah. I'm just not a big fan of him. I've heard terrible things. I've heard he's an asshole, and I don't like that because I do believe that like when you get, bro, I'm not even famous, and I try to be really nice to people every day so that people remember me.
Yeah, right.
So now you have this crazy big platform, and you're a superstar in the space. And you're going to be out there, like, being an ass. Like, I can't get behind that. Because that's not right to me.
Neither,
because if you get to that point, not only are you... It's, like, for the kids. Like, because, bro, if a kid sees you from the UK...
Yeah.
And is like, Daddy, like, we live in the United States now. I want to be just like James Corden. When he gets old enough and he hears James Corden's an absolute prick, what do you think he's going to do? Oh, well, that's how he got to that point. Right. I got to be an asshole. Not that that's how it'll be.
Right,
but do you know what I mean?
Your point. Absolutely.
I'm just not... I think he's smug.
Maybe I'll take him off of that.
I think he's smug.
I agree with you.
I just don't like his, like... I think, like, he thinks he's, like, a top 5 actor, and he's, like, not even on the, like, an actor's list.
No,
in this dimension.
Well, first off, he's in that terrible movie Cats, and we all know how that turned. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the roles he does get, they're all voice acting roles.
Yeah, or so he's like
get out of
the
here.
Comedy relief or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll take him off that honorable mention list. Actually, the only reason why I had him there was because of the Carpool Karaoke, which it became its own show on Apple TV. Apple Plus or whatever, and everything. I thought it was a good idea.
Yeah, but he doesn't even drive the car. That irritates the fuck out of me.
Yeah, too. I don't know. Yeah.
That gets pulled. The car gets pulled.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Really?
The car literally gets hitched and it gets pulled.
Didn't know that.
Yep. So you're a sham, you're a fake, you're a con, you're a loser. And again, you know me, I'm pretty good with people. I don't really hate too many people on here, but
yeah,
I strongly am not your friend, James Corden. And I mean, I'm a relevant guy from the middle of nowhere, New Jersey, that has $0. So don't worry about me, but I'm coming for you. You know, like, yeah, it's fine. But
my second, so my first dishonorable mention was Jay Leno. The second one is all about what you were talking about as far
politics,
as politics. Jimmy Kimmel.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what, I actually used to like him a lot.
Love Kimmel, yeah.
I used to like him a lot back in the day.
Yeah.
But his you know, I just see his clips all the time on YouTube.
It's always
and the headline is all shit talking a certain side on the political spectrum, and it's like, is that just your personality now? Like every headline is something dealing with that.
Yeah,
and came into a political show like the Daily Show with Trevor Noah,
which is meant to be a political show.
The Daily
design,
Show is.
Yes,
but not Jimmy Kimmel Live or whatever the fuck it's called.
So here's my thing. I had a conversation with someone recently about this, and this is so here's some news, right? I don't know if you heard about the Barstool firing. Did you hear about that?
No.
So Barstool fired a guy named Ben Mintz.
Okay.
He was just a personality on Barstool. Funny guy from Louisiana, a little bit heavier set, really funny, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He did a daily show where he would go on and he would live stream and he was rapping a song. And I don't want to say slow, that's not me saying he's slow. That's not he's just not as smart. He's a little bit of like an airhead in a sense.
Gotcha.
He basically was rapping a song and said the N-word.
He did.
And said it. And obviously, Barstool's whole personality is they're tough, they're rugged, they're kind of, like they're non-apologetic with that stuff, whatever.
Right.
He was very apologetic. You can see if you watch the video, he said it and immediately was like, and it again, he didn't say it with any malicious intent at all. It was very much, he was just rapping the song.
Yeah.
And they fired him.
Okay.
It was ultimately not Barstool's call. It was Penn Gaming's call. What happens is, at the end of the day, I understand that, like, if you watch it, you will understand where it's like he made a mistake, he slipped up, he should be able to be, like, not be fully canceled for it because he made just a terrible mistake and he was super apologetic and he realized in the moment, and it had no hate to it at all. It was just, he said it because he was reading a sheet and then he was like, he immediately realized he messed up.
Yeah.
But I get it from Penn Gaming's side, where Penn is a $1 billion company.
Yeah.
They're trying to get gaming licenses to gamble, and if a person that is with their content department says a word like that, regardless of what way it was supposed to be said, I understand where a corporation has to take action, right?
Absolutely. It's like the same thing with James Gunn. Like, Disney fired him right away.
Right away.
And then, he was semi-canceled. And then time went by. They brought him back. Maybe they will bring him back later on.
And so my argument with it is what I tell people is, I tell that story as in there's always more sides to it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because if someone goes online and sees, Barstool personality says the N-word, it's like, that's terrible. I can't believe he said that.
Any context.
And then you look at it and you're like, okay, like, it was a mistake. He messed up. The most popular artist in the world right now, Morgan Wallen, literally called someone the word with hate tied to it, and is now the most popular artist in the world. He made a mistake. He's correcting his mistakes. He's trying to make amends with it and doing that, which I think everyone can. And we talked about this however many episodes. It's a hard line to teeter.
Absolutely.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Because I'll be the first one to say you can't be messing around with that because that, it's a bad example word. And,
coming from a business perspective,
1,000%.
You can't fuck around with that.
But I say all of this because I preface it as, not to tie them in, this is not me downplaying, playing it up, whatever. When people now go online, there is no context, no meat to any of it.
Right.
And part of that is the learning systems that we live in now. Very much leans more left and more liberal, which is okay. It's not a problem.
Right.
It gets away from certain right-winged viewpoints, which, again, do not have to be these toxic, crazy like that.
Yeah.
But how I always say it is that if you sit in modern-day society and can firmly say you only watch one form of news or only read one place or only look at one thing, to think that you are only going to that you're gonna be able to consciously see that there's more to every story is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Because everyone that only watches Fox or only watches CNN or only watches MSNBC, that's the only way they're going to lean if they watch it every day, 365, that's what they do.
Yeah.
So I say that because when I listen to a Kimmel or when I listen to stuff like that, there's so many people that just take that and run with it instead of looking up the context to it. And I tell everyone, it's that's why Twitter is really good. Yes, you have to weed through what's positive and what's negative.
Yeah.
But when I'm on Twitter and I'm looking up a current event or I'm looking up something, I'm going to get stupid tweets and funny tweets and dumb shit, and that's great. I get a good laugh out of it, but it's also getting me context from Fox and from MSNBC.
Yeah.
They're both saying that this happened. Okay. Then they're both saying this happened, but then this happened. All right, let's look around.
Yeah.
Okay, that's how
Kimmel
we have
does
to
not
get
do
it.
that.
Exactly. And that's
very one-sided.
That's everyone's news source now, though.
Even
right, left, it doesn't matter. It's just
it
the only thing is they're only giving you what you want to hear. And that's the problem of why we all fight as a society, because we want to say you can only be right. You can only be left.
Right.
You can't have common sense thoughts. You can't say I lean right this way, but I lean left this way. And that's what irritates me so much, because I'm a 28-year-old and I'm not around. I'm not as well versed as our parents are and our grandparents are in politics and how life has went. But you have to have conversations.
Of course.
We have to talk
and be more open-minded.
And not as soon as I say, well, I think this guy messed up by saying the N-word, but I don't think he should have been fired, I'm immediately labeled a racist. And that's where this line becomes such an issue, because instead of, again, it being... asking a talk show host, asking questions about something and saying, how do you feel about this? How do you feel about that? Instead of him just canceling it outright or just saying a political viewpoint and then not giving any context, that's where all this the weeds get thick. You know what I mean? And that's what irritates me. So,
Kimmel
tangent, but
and everything that you said as far as the one-sided thing, one-sided information, that's what he does. That's what all of his opening monologues are nowadays. It turned into his personality, which we also talk about all the time. It's don't make whatever side you are on in the political spectrum you
could be a funny guy with
you
could be a funny guy with right-wing views or left, that's
whatever.
Fine. I don't care, but
but then make fun of both sides.
I mean, it's just
that's okay with comedy.
Yeah,
you gotta pick on everyone if you're gonna pick on someone.
I know it's a tough.
I'm even gonna do one better with this whole thing, whole certain thing. One of the greatest ever to do it, talk night, late night shows. Johnny Carson.
Yep.
Now he's not on my top 5 list.
He's on my honorable mentions list just because he's.
I'll quickly add him in there and honorable mentions too. Never watched the guy.
No, of course not. Yeah.
But I know everyone says
Yep.
that he's the best.
The best, yep.
He did a interview with 60 Minutes.
Yep.
Old interview, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
And they asked him about what are your thoughts on doing jokes about political topics.
Yeah.
He's like, that's fine, but like I said before, you got to do both sides. You got to get everyone covered. Course. But it's only jokes. It is not my job to
make you think a certain way or
to give my actual opinion on these things. It is not my job, and that's not what this is for.
Yeah.
My dad sent me that clip the other day.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is amazing. This is amazing.
That's
why he's one of the best.
And that's why again, that's how it used to be.
Yes.
And that's what's annoying, because media back then wasn't controlled by bigger corporations. Yup, exactly. So like, media wasn't controlled by the politicians running under the party or the this or the that. So that's where it's annoying now. It's like, bro, we need to be able to sit there and say that this is wrong, this is right, this is fair, this is not. There's basic human principles. If you watch someone getting jumped, it's not like you can sit there and be like,
now, did he deserve to be jumped?
You think he should be getting jumped?
Right.
Or like, yeah, get him! If you watch someone hit a dog, regardless of the context, maybe it deserved it. Bro, we've all been with our dog where our dog's just being over the top and we're like, bro, can you please calm down? Or you yank him, you're like, don't smell that, don't eat that.
Right.
You're not going to see me like...
No,
but but if you saw that in public, you wouldn't sit there and be like, see, now,
that dog must have done something.
That dog deserved it.
Yeah, right. I get it.
And that's where we live now. It's just like it's this society of there's always a counterpoint.
That you need to listen to.
But there's always a counterpoint, even when it's just like black and white of like this is a problem in schools or this is a problem in whatever. It's like the easiest way to fix it. They're like, yeah, but like we could do, and you're like, no, we can just give them pizza. Yeah, but I think they should do vegan tofu. Which again, eat whatever you want. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just using an example. It's like you could fix the school menus by doing it this way. Let's make sure we do like skirt steak on the. What? There's always a problem that can be resolved, and there's a way to do it, and then there's always the more hands and the more muddy it gets, the harder it becomes to be like, this is just how it should be, and we can fix it, and it's good. Let's move on to the actual problems, like the world imploding.
Yeah, right.
The World War III about to happen.
Well, even when... But forget that, like, when it comes to late night shows, like,
it should just be funny.
If
you want to talk about current events, like there are certain things that happen that are disasters. You should be,
dude. Like, don't even if you know it's a touchy subject and you know that there's a whole bunch of opinions involved, just leave it out of it. Like, people are watching your show late at night to relax and not even
to unplug from the week.
To unplug exactly.
From that. Yeah. Well, that's the same argument I had from like football. Like a lot of people were up in arms about the whole like kneeling and stuff like that.
People just want to escape it.
Yeah, and like I didn't agree with the kneeling, but I understood what the bigger message they were trying to provide, and I understand that. I got more irritated with it because I support the United States military, and I think the only way that we play football, we have the fucking availability to have a podcast, is because the men and women that have served and died for our country to allow us to do this.
Right.
So, I see the point. I see why they're going a certain way. But I don't agree with it because of X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
So that's me sitting on both sides. That's me saying I understand and I sympathize and I agree. Again, I'll never be in the same shoes, but I get it.
Yeah.
But then I also say I don't love how you did it, and I didn't like that it's now becoming not as common to see it because now like it's all leveled out, which is great and it's getting better.
Mm-hmm.
But then the other argument with it is like football is my escape.
Exactly.
So when as much as, you're going to make the argument, you do the Pledge of Allegiance. So yes, I do that because we are, like I said, able to play this amazing game, and so many people are able to get out of terrible situations as kids and grow the sport and then become an adult and be able to pay for their families to get out of not so great neighborhoods, or if they had an amazing education, they can continue their careers, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
But my escape is to watch football, and that's all
I
want to do. And it's always politics and controversy.
Yep.
And that's where whenever people tell me I don't watch football anymore, I'm like, that's fine. Like,
whatever.
Great, because I am still going to continue to watch my team, continue to die and bleed blue. I'm going to continue.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
Right.
I love it, and I will never let the politics and let the can't believe. I'll never let that ruin it because it's my escape. Just like when we go to the movies.
Yeah.
Like that 2-hour window that I have to watch a movie is for me to unplug my brain from the hectic week that I had.
And escape into fantasy land.
And it doesn't need to be X, Y, and Z. That's, like you said, that's why it irritates the hell out of me, too. So I would put him even on my least favorite, too, with understanding that's as well.
But those were the only two I had. I don't know if you had any honorable.
I had Carson as well. I had James Corden on my not so honorable.
Yeah.
I had Fallon and I had Jerry Springer on my other honorable mentions. Jerry Springer, rest in peace. I mean, again, he trendsetter in the media landscape of just chaos.
Dude, I remember waking up at like 5, 6 in the morning with the TV on and it being
Jerry,
on. Yeah,
Jerry.
Yes. Loved that show. What a legend. He was a politician too.
He was a politician, yes.
Yeah,
I mean, crazy stories. You've watched some crazy things on there. Rest in peace. A crazy guy with it. And then I love Fallon. I do love Jimmy Fallon. I mean, Fever Pitch is a favorite movie of mine, even though I'm a Yankees fan. It breaks my heart. But like
Fever Pitch, I never watched.
It's the one where he's got the Boston season tickets and he falls in love with Reese
Witherspoon.
Drew Barrymore.
It's a movie that Fallon was in, yeah?
Yeah, Fever Pitch.
Didn't know Fallon was an actor, like in that sort of capacity.
Fever Pitch. Oh, no. Yeah, Fever Pitch. Thank God.
Who was it with?
It's not a good movie. It's in like 50s. It's, Drew Barrymore. See,
Let me see a picture here. Oh,
I've probably seen it before.
Poster for this, though.
You've probably seen it before, though, when you were younger or whatever. But
yeah.
It's a funny movie, but I loved him as a kid in that movie. I enjoyed it. So, like, those are my honorable mentions.
Okay.
I was going to say, I don't know if you want, I'll do my 5 and my 4 real quick, and then I'll shoot it back and do it that way.
Sure.
My 5 is a tie between Colbert and Conan. I'm not a huge Conan guy. Okay. I've said it. I don't know. Something irks me about him, but I know people love him in the late night landscape.
Yeah.
It's not my thing. I'm not a really big late night guy, so I'm not going to sit there and like tell you like,
Right.
Not going to play that and pretend like I know.
Yeah.
And then Stephen Colbert is just, another one of those guys.
Yeah,
as much as it's a political leaning stance, he's definitely a legend in the realm.
Yeah.
I think he's been pretty good with having there's never a full bias behind it.
That's what I was about to say. For having a political show, he did very well.
He was pretty good with it. Yeah, he leaned a certain way, but then he'd give the other points.
But he wasn't what we want. He wasn't intense with a certain side or anything like that.
But like I said, that's what you want. You want there to be the other counterpoint because that's ultimately what it is.
And that's why he was ultimately very well liked by both sides.
Exactly.
Of it. Yeah.
And then this one is going to piss a lot of people off.
Okay.
Eric Andre.
I knew he was going to be on your list. I knew it.
Again, I vocalized I'm not a big talk show host guy, but the Eric Andre show, as much as everyone that watches this might hate it, it is so funny, and I just got so much laughter out of it.
It's amazing.
That, like, again, my comedy is a certain way, but just watching some of the stuff he does,
it's
like
brain-melting humor.
The intro that he destroys his set every episode, I think that's so funny. I think that's hilarious. Yeah. And every episode, it's a different way.
Yeah.
And like, I just think he's doing it in a fantastic. I just think it's so funny. I think, his rise to fame has been amazing because I've been a fan the whole entire time, which is awesome. Again, I almost went to the frickin' the ranch store. He almost did a ranch store from you want to take a hit of this ranch? Yeah, he did that like years ago. But like me and my buddies almost drove in to go to the store. It was in the city, just like a pop-up shop.
Yeah.
But they were doing like, you want to take a hit of this ranch?
That's hilarious.
But again, I just loved it. I love watching it. I still will turn it on occasionally, and it'll just give me such a laugh. And I mean, even what was that movie he was in?
Bad Trip.
That was great.
It was great.
Great.
It was great.
So
I believe.
Why am I yawning? I'm sunburned, by the way. So like, I literally went on a 4-mile walk. I went on a 4-mile walk today. Yeah.
And how'd you get that?
Because I'm the worst.
Still wearing a shirt?
I was wearing a tank top.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, but I'm the worst. It was 70 degrees. The UV was a 7. It was a 7, Frank.
Yeah.
A 7.
I don't know.
11 is the highest. 12 is the highest.
Yeah.
A 7. Bro, I am scarred on my shoulders.
Yeah, it looked it.
I'm sitting there. I literally was like, I could start to feel it. I got inside after walking the dog. Me and Kayla walked from my house all the way to the high school and back.
Oh, wow.
So it's a 4-mile walk. So we're like, let's do it. Well, it'll exhaust him. It'll exhaust us.
Yeah.
I get back and I'm laying there and I'm like, all right. I can, when you can feel it, I'm like, got a little color today. Yeah. I mean, you can even see it under my eyes and stuff.
Yeah, I could. Yeah.
I'm like, I got a little color. And I could see it, and I was like, all right. I was like, yep, I could see it. I went and I showered, and I was like, oh, I got burnt. Fucking a 7. A 7. I was like, you've literally got to be kidding me. So all day now, like, I was doing errands outside, and it's the first, like, hot day.
Yeah.
Like, nice day, and I was up this morning at 5 o'clock in the morning trying to go to the flea market to sell shit. Got turned away from that. I was at the flea market for 2 hours.
Oh, man.
Baking. I'm like, why am I yawning? As I'm like, I've been up for 20 hours.
Right. No, sunburn will do that. Sunburn will do that to you, dude.
It's the worst.
Yeah.
Go Germans.
Back to Eric Andre. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Me and you have talked about that show plenty of times of how we both love it so much. New season is coming out.
I know. I can't wait.
Can't wait for that.
Can't wait.
I'm just a little concerned that he's become too popular and too well known now.
Well, even the past couple seasons, like in comparison to what he's had,
like some of them are expecting crazy shit to happen.
I mean,
how are you going to avoid that?
Look at Impractical Jokers, bro. Like the fact that like that show. No offense, I love that show. It's funny, but like the fact that it's still on the air blows my mind because it's like everyone knows who they are now. So like when they're in public and this person doesn't know who, like you go to an 85-year-old woman. Maybe not.
They gotta start going out of the country, I think.
Honestly, yeah, they really do. They go to Italy. They'll just absolutely they'll have a field day with Italians, bro. Italians will get so pissed off.
All right, so
that's my 5 and 4.
Okay, gotcha. My number 5 is Jimmy Fallon.
Yep.
He's clearly he's my least favorite out of this top 5, but I do like him. I think he has good. I think he's very energetic.
Yep.
And he has good segments in his Tonight Show. I think he could be very fake at times.
Yeah.
With his laughing and
all
that sort of stuff.
I know what you mean there. Yep.
I could deal without that from him, but otherwise I like him. That's my number 5.
Cool.
Number 4 is David Letterman.
Okay, good.
I think he's also, in my opinion, considered one of the legends of late night hosting as well. I think his style of humor is very different from everyone else's. He's more of that, I'm the cool guy that tells jokes and everything. You know what I mean?
Letterman, well, he's just like the GOAT. He's like one of the greatest, so he just kind of can be like, exactly. I'm going to do my thing. Like, don't, don't bother me.
And I love, there was a certain point after he retired from the late night show, the beard he grew was fantastic. He was rocking.
Kanye is, of course, canceled now, so like, whatever. I mean, ex-best friend of mine, Kanye West. Him and Kanye's interview was so funny when he did the
because
his
new
Netflix
show. His Netflix show where he does the one-on-one
I
interviews.
literally still have my Twitter, like my other Twitter, not a burner. It's just like a sneaker Twitter that I had for like the longest time as a kid.
Yeah.
And it was called Skywalker Kicks, and literally the photo on my thing, if it lets me pull it up, is Letterman in Kanye.
Oh, that's great.
But it was like when he was talking to him, they like Kanye dripped him out and like was like, oh, like put this on, and then he was wearing it, and it was so funny. But like, it was also a really good interview too. Like,
word. I think he's hilarious, and that's why he's my number 4. I enjoyed him, how he communicated with guests on his talk show and everything, and that was my 5 and 4.
Cool. My 3 and 2. So Jon Stewart is my 3.
Okay.
The reason I put him at my 3 is, again, I'm not a huge late show guy. I've watched him a couple times. I really like his segments. I like when he gets mad, like when he gets that, you can tell like that anger in him kind of a thing, and he kind of goes at like whatever's going on, and he's like so hyped up about it.
Yeah.
But I also, again, kind of like going into the real person, real life, make a difference kind of guy he is. Mm-hmm. The fact that he did so much for first responders, and he's done so much for military vets and stuff like that, that to me goes way beyond being a talk show host.
Yeah.
And being able to use your platform, and like, I don't know if you've seen, I don't want to butcher saying what it was he was doing it for, but it was the Senate. He was talking to the Senate about getting a bill approved or whatever. Mm-hmm. And you could ask Fallon to do it.
Right,
but Fallon or Kimmel, was Kimmel living in New York City during that time? Probably not. Right, 2001, like September 11th. Probably not.
No.
So
probably not, right.
Jon Stewart had friends, he had family, he had such a passion behind it. There was an impact that when he said the speech, you could just see in his eyes that he was meant
passionate about it.
What he was saying it for. And that's where it's like you don't see guys do that. So, because you said there's so many fake late show hosts now that when they don't love it, you can tell for a lot of these guys. And with him...
With Fallon, you could tell it a lot.
And
I get it. It's a part of their job.
Yeah, but it's like when I saw him out of work and in work, like showing the passion that he had doing something and making a difference. That's not like just him like having a job, getting paid millions of dollars and doing whatever. He was making a difference in the community. And that was for me. I was like...
I would put Jon Stewart also as one of the legends as well. In
100%.
Show,
and my number 2 is a tie between Letterman and Oprah.
Ooh, so Oprah, I didn't even think about, to be honest.
So Oprah's my 2 because as a kid, bro, I grew up on Oprah. Yeah, my mom watched Oprah all the time.
When I get home from school, it was always on.
Always on, bro. Yeah. So like, that's why I looked back, and I'm honestly so mad because I have a sick Oprah tee that I'm going to have to wear for, like, one of the next podcasts.
Oh, that would be perfect.
But it's such a dope t-shirt, and I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
But, I mean, dude, Oprah, and I mean, again, a person with an amazing message.
Oh, man.
Really positive vibes, which is great. Always trying to make a difference, but, like, at the same time, being a good person, which was great, you know.
And she was fun on her talk show.
A lot of fun.
Listen, you were in that crowd.
You get it!
That's what I'm saying. If you're in that crowd,
I always thought we were going to go as a kid.
There's like a 60-70% chance you're winning. You're getting something.
As a child, I was always like, Ma, when are we going? Like, when are we pulling up? Like,
right.
I thought, it's always funny, is like, as a kid, I mean, you know how it is, bro. Like, you thought this was in your backyard. You're like, yo, when are we going?
Yeah.
Like, when are we going to an episode? It's like, kid, bro, as a child, you have no knowledge of time, so you're like, bro, let's drive.
Right.
Let's drive to fucking San Bernardino, California. What?
Yeah.
Luke, like, no, it's gonna what? No, okay, let's fly. Also, flights were, you know, as a kid, I don't know if you remember this. I'm on my ADD trip or something like that. Do you ever remember being in an airport as a kid?
Yeah.
Do you?
I do.
Well, never mind. I don't remember ever being on an airport. I only remember being, as a kid, on a plane. Never in an airport.
I have this weird thing where I love airports.
All right, well, we're not even going to... I'm not on park. Nope, don't touch it.
But nowadays, no. Because of lines and crowdedness in that. But for some reason, it was like the anticipation of going on the plane and going on vacation that I loved the airport. You're a crazy
person.
I don't know. That's just how I thought when I was a kid.
I have been doing this now for how many years with you, and I've never felt more unsafe.
Okay.
Like, you have me so concerned. You like airports like that?
Not nowadays. But when I was younger, it was like the excitement of going on vacation.
Frankie, what do you want for Christmas this year? Give me a fucking airport, Mom. Get me a fucking airport.
Buy me an airport.
Just gonna wait. Can you take me to the airport for the day to wait for nothing?
Yeah.
Yep, you got it. Drops him off at Newark.
I hope we get a delay.
Yeah, right. Oh boy. Cancel! Like, what is wrong with you?
I don't know.
My God.
My number 3. This is a name that I feel like a lot of people would have never thought I would bring up. But I'm bringing it up. Craig Ferguson.
Oh.
Dude, I think this guy is hilarious. He's such a sly dog. He was the biggest flirty talk show host I've ever seen in my life. And the best part is he would hit on all these hot actresses that came on the show. And they loved him.
Yeah.
Loved him.
That's good.
He was cunning, funny, slick, all those things. One of the most famous things he did, and he doesn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
He's been off for a while now, but I see highlight clips of it on YouTube, and I'm like, how have I never watched this guy when he was on? Exactly. Like, how is he still not going on right now? How wasn't he as popular?
Is he canceled? Is that
No, not canceled. He was not canceled.
Not canceled officially.
No, but he always had the snake mug. And he, at the beginning of every interview, the guest would come in, sit down. He has his notes of questions to ask. He always rips up the notes and throws them out and just has a conversation with them.
That's cool.
Love that. Love that.
That's cool.
So he's my number 3. He's a cool dude. And I'll do my number 2 as well.
Yes.
Number 2, Graham Norton.
Okay.
Graham Norton. His talk show is very different from the other talk shows.
Yep.
One, he has more than one guest at a time. on his show. They have the long.
Oh yes.
It's the British show. I believe. Oh, I hope I'm not butchering that. I believe it's
cancel Fred.
I believe it's British, but they're on the big lounge couch.
Yep.
They're all having drinks and everything. And what a better way to open up, to get your guests be opened up and everything, and tell funny stories and everything like that. I'll tell you what, I haven't seen an actor tell an unscripted funny story ever on any other talk show host, because all of them are scripted besides Graham Norton's show.
Yeah.
And I think it's great. And Graham Norton is funny himself. And he's having drinks too and everything like that. They're having like Cosmos and margaritas and everything. It's fantastic. So he's my number 2. I find the show very enjoyable because it's almost like a hangout session.
Cool.
Yeah.
My number 1 is about to be a mishmash of a bunch. So
oh boy.
One of mine is a fake person in general. It's an actor playing a talk show host, as in Danny Tanner from Full House.
Ah.
So that's my number 1.
Okay. Wasn't he a newscaster? Not a talk show host?
I thought he was...
Oh, it was more of a morning show, right?
I thought it was a morning show.
It was a morning show. Okay, so talk show host.
My number 2 of this is Zach Galifianakis in Between Two Ferns.
Love it. Love it.
So funny.
I'm surprised you put him over Eric Andre in that.
It's more just that Eric Andre is mine.
Chaos.
That's my kind of.
Yeah.
Zach Galifianakis is...
Whoa.
No. Zach Galifianakis is funny in the sense that, like, he's just funny. Like, your mom could watch him or your grandma could watch him. And
without being like, what are you showing
That's funny.
Me right
it's,
now?
oh, my God, he's so... Oh, I can't watch. It's so cringy.
Right.
But, like, Eric Andre, they'd be like, why did that guy just get shot?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Why is this guy's dick
Why
out?
is this guy... Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They'd be like,
Right.
Where, again, Eric Andre, in my opinion, is over it. But, like, for how my list goes and, like, how I'd sit someone down and watch it.
To recommend.
Yes.
Sure. Love that choice.
Then I have the other universe of Bravo.
Oh.
In Andy Cohen.
Should have predicted you.
Andy Cohen is the GOAT of this. He stirs the pot with every single one of the reunions that he does for any of the housewives.
Yeah.
Summer House, any of that stuff. When he's at the helm, he is the master. He's the puppet master.
Puppet master, yes.
He is literally the Kevin Feige of Bravo.
Yes, right.
That's just how it is.
Right.
But he is the absolute puppet master of this whole thing. And again, as much as you can say it's scripted, you can say it's this, he's a no-nonsense guy, which I like. He's very, like, if you're going to say something and you're going to kind of be like, no, it didn't happen, he's like,
back it up.
Play the clip, he's that kind of a guy. It up, and he's a no-nonsense kind of a guy, and I think he's, like, kind of a little bit of a, I don't want to say like
instigator?
Yes, but like I don't want to say because he's not full of himself, but I think he's got confidence, and I like
Without
that.
A doubt.
In the sense that like
you got to have that too.
He's gonna kind of be a little bit of like was he being an asshole there? But at the end of the day, it's like he can be because number one, he's knowledgeable. He's confident, and he's not doing it to be an asshole. He's doing it to put you on blast because you're doing something.
Not just that, but it's his job. Well, to stir the pot.
And it's also to hold you accountable, though. You know what I mean?
Without a doubt.
Where
and
a lot of these
got
people,
the job is because
they ask
he does
a question and they're like, they do it, and then they like throw the grenade and they leave.
Yeah.
And like they don't take any of the repercussion. Where he'll be the one to say like, "But why did you cheat on your husband with this person?"
Let's flesh this out.
Yeah. Exactly, and just call a spade a spade.
Okay.
And then my number one is Howard Stern.
Ooh.
So my number one is Howard Stern, only in the sense that, I mean, the man literally changed the game of this, where a lot of these guys did too. You know, Letterman, I mean, is one of the GOATs with it. Stern is just chaos. You know, it's just the Howard Stern show is
really does not give
really does not care at all. And again, like, you know,
he's another guy that's probably like uncancelable at this point.
Really?
Yeah.
And again, it was like, as a kid, I knew my dad used to watch him a good amount. He'd, you know, turn him on, do whatever.
Yeah.
So I'd always listen, like, with him. I never understood it. It's the same thing with, like, Jerry Seinfeld. As a kid, I used to love watching Seinfeld with my parents, but they're like, you won't understand this. Like, don't worry about it. Like, because I didn't. I was like, why is this funny? And now I watch Seinfeld and I'm like, this is hilarious.
Right.
Which, by the way, my parents saw Seinfeld last night for their anniversary, their wedding anniversary.
Comedy
show? They
show?
said he was fucking hilarious.
Really?
He was at the Beacon in New York City.
Oh,
They
awesome.
said he was so funny.
Oh, good. I'm glad they went
was like,
there.
that's awesome. Yeah, it
glad
was
they
cool.
Had a good time.
But The Howard Stern show, again, is one of those things. As a kid, I remember always hearing about him, always listening to him. And then, like, now that I'm old enough and I watch, like, the Beetlejuice clips and I watch the Unplugged and how crazy he allowed his show to be in a time that, like, that wasn't the norm.
No.
That's what's really cool about it. You know what I mean?
That's something that if he just
I think he's just a straight shooter. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he's not going to really lean like a certain way. He's just going to be more of a like common sense kind of a guy, which might lean a certain type of a way. But he's just kind of be like, I'm not gonna fluff this. I'm gonna ask you the hard hitting questions. I don't give a shit.
He's a no bullshitter with that.
So
I didn't even think about.
So that's my number one. That's number 4. That's 4 total.
But he would be like, would you say he's like your
my
main
one?
Yeah, you're one of your top one.
Then Andy Cohen, then Zach Galifianakis and Danny Tanner of my number ones that are my 4 number ones.
Your top 4 number ones.
Great.
Got it.
Because of course I can't just give you a straight list. I will never. I refuse to. And that is all.
It's like an onion. It's got layers.
That's me. I'm an onion. Shout out Shrek.
Yep. All right, my number 1. Could you guess who it is?
I'm not even gonna.
All right, Conan O'Brien, man. Conan O'Brien, I think, is hilarious. He's your guy. The main reason why he's my number 1 is because what we talked a good amount on this episode with the whole political thing. I'm sure he does from time to time talk about shit, but he is the least. How do I say this? He's the talk show host that talks the least about.
Least confrontational when it comes to politics. That's probably not it, but at least controversial when it comes to politics.
And it's all about the escape and just to laugh. And that's all he does. His skits, the pranks that he does on his workers on it and everything like that. Fantastic. It's a shame he ended his TBS show.
I was going to say that.
He ended it saying that while he has this time off, he's going to do his podcast, which he has been doing lately. But then he's going to have something on HBO Max. Max now. So
I forgot we haven't talked about that either.
Stupid. We need to do a
whole we need to do a whole episode on everything else we missed.
Yeah, we do.
Mario, Air.
Yeah, Air was great.
Mandalorian, Guardians.
Yeah.
What else? Knock at the Cabin in the Woods. We talked about it and never really got to it, and it was actually pretty decent. I heard.
Evil Dead Rise was fantastic too. Great horror movie.
I will never. Well. Don't worry about that. I'm not a horror movie
guy. I got no, but it was fantastic.
I'm scared by the Courage the Cowardly Dog episode. But I mean, that's terrifying.
Courage.
Remember the scary episode? No, but the scary episode with the guy in like the field.
Oh yeah,
bro, that nightmares. Nightmare.
I appreciate that show.
Always Sunny in Philadelphia has Breaking Bad cast in it this season.
Dude,
like
I know.
There's a lot, bro. I can't. I'm going to be literally the worst person to talk to when the new season of Always Sunny comes out.
I've been seeing plenty of clips of It's Always Sunny lately on TikTok.
You have to watch all of it.
And they're all hilarious.
You have to watch all of it.
I know, I will.
I can't wait for the podcast we're going to do of things we need to watch because Frank's going to do a top 45.
Well, I have watched It's Always Sunny before. I've watched full seasons of it.
But you need to watch all of it, though. Yeah. You need to be... Because, shout out Gianna, my fiance's best friend, maid of honor, childhood best friend, literally one of the best straight shooters ever. She's just going to tell you how it is, which is I love it. Yeah. It's like no bullshit. She's just going to call you out on your bullshit, and I love that.
Yeah.
She is a huge Always Sunny fan, die hard. And me and her, every time we see each other, we just we'll always talk about it. And, bro, I literally want to strangle her because she listens to their podcast.
Yeah,
and every time she sees me, she's like, did you listen to the podcast? I'm like, Gianna, I didn't listen to the podcast. I didn't do it. And she's like, all right, cool. I'll see her a day later. She's like, so did you listen to all of the episodes? No, I didn't listen to 385 episodes of the podcast, but I could knock out all of the episodes of Always Sunny in that amount of time if I needed to. But so I can't. There's a lot of shit going on. Oppenheimer's coming up.
I know. Oppenheimer's coming out.
Barbie's coming up.
Barbie.
Dune 2.
Across the Spider-Verse.
Dune 2.
Dune trailer was fantastic as well. Dune was. I saw that. Fucking wait. The trailer was in the theaters before Guardians today, and I was like, "Ooh, this looks great on the big screen."
100% shot in IMAX.
Yeah, I know.
Timothée Chalamet is gonna kill it.
That's a movie I want to see in IMAX. Bro, dude, what a cast, bro! Florence Pugh, Christopher Walken,
Tyler. Who was Elvis? Also Elvis.
No, not Tyler. Austin
Butler. Sorry, Tyler Butler.
Austin Butler's in
Elvis.
It.
Don't
Austin
watch
Butler.
Did you watch Elvis?
Great. No, I'm not.
Don't watch Elvis. Don't watch Elvis.
Austin Butler looks great as the bald, pale guy in those gray scenes and everything like that. He looks great in that.
Also, because this is now just becoming an episode just to do this.
Yeah.
I watched Rogue One again for May 4th because I really wanted to watch a Star Wars movie for May the 4th, May 4th.
Yeah.
Bro, Rogue One is so good.
I know, dude.
Rogue One is so good. Rogue One is so good. And I'll be fully transparent, I only watched from when they left Yavin to go to, this is like deep nerd shit.
Yeah.
When they went to Scarif, where they fought.
At the end?
At the very end. The last 30 minutes of them getting a Scarif.
Yes.
Bro, the action is spot on. Storytelling is spot on.
Yeah.
So good.
The sequence.
That's what I want in Star Wars.
Of events was fantastic in that movie.
That's why when you watch Andor back, you're like, fuck, this is so good.
Yeah, I heard they're doing Andor season 2.
Yep, that's already almost... filming just started maybe. Or it's underway.
Another thing that we should probably bring up right now, this writer's strike, man.
This shit. I was talking to my dad about it. It's tough because the last one lasted 100 days or something like that. I think they said 90 days. It's weird because we live in a time now that's 2012 was the last time it happened.
Maybe, yeah.
So media was still obviously prominent, but TV I don't think was as big as it is now. You had
movies
Breaking
with
Bad,
connected
you
universes.
had, right? Because 2012 you had Breaking Bad, you had stuff like that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it wasn't where it is now, where everyone is watching something. Everyone.
Not just that, but how certain things are connected, like Marvel, where you have to have a certain release schedule.
Yep.
It's tough with this now.
Oh, it's bad.
Blade,
Stranger Things
got delayed.
Well, Blade is going to be Blade. They're going to have to scrap Blade.
They're not catching a break with that. They just delayed it.
That movie is literally cursed. I saw
that.
That movie's cursed. That movie's cursed.
I know. It's funny. It's funny that you say cursed because but yeah, dude. I hope it doesn't last long, and I hope the writers get what they deserve and everything.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I agree. But
I hope a mutual agreement comes along sooner than later, and things get back moving and everything like that. Yeah,
I hope so. But yeah, there's your 30 minutes of recap.
Yeah. All right. We'll cap it off there. Guys, if you enjoyed this episode and you agree with our list, make sure to comment below. Also, make sure to like, subscribe, and share. And follow us on all social media platforms at Frank_videos. If you want to listen to this episode audio-only version or any episode audio-only version, you can on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Music. And with all that being said, we hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful night, and peace out. This is when I say, like, when certain events happened and I started watching streamers react to this, I'm mainly talking about the Johnny Depp Amber Heard case. Mm-hmm. Now, a lot of people were streaming and reacting to what was going on during that whole court case. I hope I don't butcher this name, but Asmongold?
Okay, I know them.
Yeah, he was reacting every day to the whole court case. Like, every day that it was on, he would be watching it, reacting to it, giving his opinion and everything. And I mean, don't get me wrong, the Johnny Depp Amber Heard case was entertaining just alone, in my opinion. But I agreed with a lot of the stuff that he was saying. I mean, I think everyone was in agreement for the most part with that whole case. But I just liked what he was saying and everything like that. He was consistent in watching it, like that he made that the priority of his stream during that time, I believe.